Яна, ты здесь?
Да, я тут.
Можешь новый или до сих пор он работает? Он же не работает все. Вроде работает, да? Также.
Да, сейчас работает. Мы меняем ссылку?
Все, значит, если работает, то не надо.
Да, тут там шоупан зашла.
All good? I think all good. No, I think you need to change the... Can you change it? I just shared the new one.
Okay. Yep, I can. Все вроде бы создала, вроде бы этот вейв видный.
All good, yeah?
Yep.
Yep, perfect.
But we hear you.
It's good. So you want me to mute myself? Hey guys, welcome. We'll be starting in 5 minutes.
All right. So we are starting. Hey everyone. I'm so happy to see you all here. I see some names. If you guys can hear me well, let me know.
Did you unmute yourself on YouTube?
Yep, I did. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me and see me well. If you guys have some technical issues, you will just need to refresh the page and you'll hear and see me fine. Awesome. All right, we will start because we have only 1 hour and we will go with the presentation. Today, we are talking about the mindset. We are talking about the tech career and your goals. I really hope this webinar is going to be super useful. So, what we're going to do next is I invite you to our space. And as you know, when we have this collective energy, the space is really strong. So um, I see some of you cannot hear, so it will be great if you refresh the page and let me know again. Awesome. Guys, can everyone hear and see me well? There is over 100 people who registered, and awesome. I don't think we'll wait for the rest. People will be joining, but we will start. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the chat. I'm reading the chat and I'll be happy to answer. First things first, as I said, welcome to our space. This morning I was really nervous and excited because I knew that it is going to be a very strong webinar, and I knew that I will give lots of information which will be useful for anyone who wants to break into tech or for anyone who has some goals in life, as we all do. So, first thing that I would love to ask you is to play a game with me. And this game is called um, Nobody Exists. So, it was a game I played recently, which the game is about the non player character. So, imagine yourself as a non player character. What does it mean? It means that there is no one else around you, it's just you. So, whatever you listen to in today's webinar, whatever you, let's say, you are trying to change your mindset, right? And whatever comes to you, if you have some type of the thoughts like, okay, I want to break into tech, but the market is broken right now, or there is no the companies are not hiring, or I cannot choose the boot camp or school, or my husband is or family is not allowing me to study, and so on. So I ask you to play this game that nobody else exists, it's just us. So today it is just you, and there is no one else. And when we are working on the mindset, the most important thing is to realize that there is no one else, it's just us. So I invite you to play this non-player character game and start with realizing that there is no one else, it's just us. Before we go to the agenda, I would love to give you a quick overview of who am I. You guys know me well. I am Adina Tilek. I'm a founder of WEDEVX. It's a tech startup. It's a platform. We help people break into tech. It's now worth of 15 million and we are growing. We launched 2 years ago, but we've been in the industry for about 5 years. I am happily married to an amazing man. who is here supporting me, and I'm mom of two boys. We live, as you guys see on my Instagram page, we live in different places, in very beautiful places. We are based in the US, but we always travel throughout different places. We make our income is from half a meal to 2 meal yearly, and what I really realized is that our income really depends on our mindset and on our self belief. I will talk about this later. And I'm also an investor. I keep exploring different spheres. So I recently started investing into startups. And before I did some investment into the real estate, stock options, and so and so. So we travel the world, and I believe that I'm a great example for anyone who wants to make create yourself and your life and environment from scratch. So I do really hope that you guys will get a lot of information today. And the agenda for today is going to be right here. So the very first one, we'll start with the mindset. And we will start from where to start with your goals, with the mindset hacks. What's really important is this topic is really huge, and I am full of information. I would love to share a lot, but my team begged me to be really thoughtful and mindful and share just a little bit so that we can have this webinar in 1 hour and just finish it in 1 hour. But we can also continue, and at the end I will send you a link for a channel, for a community channel in Telegram, where we will be going over the mindset hacks all together, and we will be working together on a daily thoughts and doing some exercises. So I think it was a great idea from my team. And number two, what we'll discuss is in general the tech world and the careers and how to start. We'll give you different pathways on how to start. And of course, we'll tell you a little bit about WEDEVX and what we offer you. So it's not going to be lots of like advertisement or anything. We will be providing the pure information, and it's up to you to decide. But again, so who stays till the end, you guys will get the link for the exclusive mindset invite only club, where we will be, it's a challenge club where we will be working together on setting our mindset. And today we'll go over the hacks all together. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. And the next part is the very beginning. I love to start with my story. You guys see everything on Instagram. I always get a lot of questions on, okay, how did you start your career, or how did you start traveling, or how did you start this company, how do you manage to be a mom and a wife, and also on top of it manage to have business with your husband, and also manage to multitask and juggle between family and work, and so on. So lots of questions, but I truly believe that I started creating myself, and I was super lucky. When I was 13 years old, I found a box, and it's a great story. I have only one sister. She's older than me, and she used to study in Guangzhou in China. And in China, all the clothings, they're very cheap. So she would always, every maybe 4 months or every season, she would buy lots of clothing and send to back home to us, so that I have new clothing for school, or she will be providing like some gifts or anything home, like for the home furniture or goods. And she would send out the huge boxes of things. And we are so used to it because we would go to cargo to the warehouse, where we will pick up the box, and we would just go over the clothing and so and so. And one day there was a box which came to our house, And we started opening it. We called our sister. For that time, it was like IP phone calls. We would travel to the city, call her, and ask like, "Oh, we got the box," and she was saying like, "No, I didn't send anything." And it was a surprise. She said, "No, we got a box from China in our address, and isn't from you?" And she just said, "No, it's not from me. Open it." And when we opened, we figured that it was a box which didn't belong to my sister or to us. It was lots of different clothings and a lot of books. And when we went back to cargo and said, there is a box, we don't know whose box it is, it's not ours, take it back. And they just said, and we called them and we said, "Can you pick it up?" And they just said, "No, we don't know whose box is this, just keep it or throw it away." And it was surprising because it was like clearly someone's box with things. And as I saw, there was lots of clothing and it was lots of books. So I started going over the books. And the first book which I found was a book from John Cahill. Is about how your conscious and subconscious work and how you can visualize and create your life. And imagine if you're 13 years old and you find this book and your head and brain is clear as a white paper, and everything you receive, you just believe in it. So I started reading this book and figured that I can actually visualize my life and I can create a life that I want. So this is the very beginning of my mindset journey. All right, I see something going on here. Can you guys hear me well? Okay, awesome. So yeah, let me know if you are on the same page with me. All right, awesome. So yeah, and this was a box with the books from a very mysterious person, which I still don't know who was that, but I truly believe it was a, I don't know, gift from universe. So uh, there was lots of books, and it was books from Louisa Hay. It was all about the mindset, which was basically explaining that everything we have, all the sickness and illness, is actually comes from our thoughts. And there was a video which I watched also when I was 13, which is called A Secret. You probably guys know. So basically, everything was around this visualization, trying to set your mindset, explaining that our thoughts is our become our reality. So we have to really carefully look for our thoughts. And I started practicing this when I was 13. And I was doing it for quite some time until this year. This year, I had different story. I had lots of things, lots of stress, and I figured that I kind of adulthood changed me, and I started forgetting all the things that I'm used to. So, and then I came back to John Cahill this year, and I just reminded myself and I started analyzing and thought, okay, whatever I was doing, whatever I was achieving, it was actually coming from the very first one, from the mindset. And it's so important to set your mindset right. And when you're an adult, you have so many doubts, you have so many fears because they come from your environment, from your childhood, from parents or sisters or brothers or teachers or whatever. And you're just consuming and consuming all information. And when you become an adult, all the rational thing, logical thing become much stronger in your life than your feelings and your beliefs. And this is where the mistake happens. We should actually listen to our feelings and beliefs and try to mute the outside noise. You can listen for the advices, but also you should be filtering for yourself what works for you and what doesn't. So, my journey began at 13 years old when I found these books, and I'll share the books later with you. If you guys, as I said, please stay till the end, and at the end, you'll get the invite for the mindset challenge where I'll be sharing all the books and all the exercises. All right. And one phrase that I really love is that if you believe you can or cannot, you're right. And this is a very powerful and strong sentence because it's so true. Everything I have achieved so far and I'm doing really depends on my belief. If I believe I can, or if I believe I cannot, this will happen. So let's go next, and I'll share the what successful person is actually consist of. So as you guys know, I work a lot with investors, with another startup founders. As we travel a lot, we meet lots of rich, successful people who are in business. They have their own hotels, and we just meet a bunch of different people from any nationality. It's not just our community, it's not just my friends or family, it's all the people around that I meet. And I always love to ask, what are the things that they are doing? And I love to analyze and talk to them and see how they're thinking and see what kind of tools they use in order to achieve this success. And it's a great exercise that you can do as well whenever you meet a person who has some things that you want. Always talk to these people and try to analyze and try to find out their tools, and you can also take these tools and use it for yourself. So what I figured is successful person consists and made of few things. And the very first one is, as you can see, I wrote them down in the circle, but it actually comes in an order. The very first one is mindset. Why this webinar is all about the mindset? Because it's the very first thing we should be considering. So the first one is the mindset, self-belief. Next, any successful person I met, any entrepreneur, any investor, any successful business owner, they always have a plan. So, goal and a purpose. Not just a plan, for example, some materialistic thing like I want to buy, let's do some like girly math. I want to buy a Bulgari ring, let's say. And if there is no purpose, this really sometimes this kind of materialistic goals, they don't really motivate us. We always think when we don't have it, we always think we want it, but in reality, when you get it, it's just not fulfilling. So all successful people I met, they all run businesses, they all make lots of huge tons of money, but they always have a higher purpose than their goal. The goals are always, they can be materialistic, they can be quantable, they can have a time matter, but the purpose is always higher than themselves. So the next thing is the environment. And when I talk about environment, it's all the network, everything and everyone who surrounds you. It's the space you live in, it's the city you live in, it's the community you talk to, it's your friends and the network. Next thing is really interesting. So after the goal, I think I have some mistake here. So after goal and purpose actually comes the hard work. And when I say hard work, it's not just working 24/7. It's a hard work, yes, but it also is a smart work. And we'll talk about this later. After the hard work comes the environment. And the last but not least, which is really interesting, every time I would talk to a successful person and ask them, hey, how did you achieve your stuff? And they would always say, I was just lucky. And now they would say, I am just lucky that I met this person, or I'm just lucky that I attended this school, or I'm just lucky that I met my husband or my wife, or I was just lucky that I moved to Bali, or I moved to United States, and so and so. But if you really dig into this luck, it's actually combination of their persistence, consistency, and the hard work again. So we will talk about the luck later, and we will talk about how to create this luck in your life. So are we guys on the same page? Is everything clear? This is the qualities and the habits of successful people, which starts from the mindset and it goes until the luck. Awesome. What language books were wrote in? They were in Russian, surprisingly. If you can imagine, Ilyana, it was books coming from China in Russian. So I truly believe it was like just God or universe helping me out and just helping me with my dreams and sending these books to me. And it's actually, I truly believe that there is no like things that were just like by mistake. I truly believe it was on purpose. Me finding this book at the very early stage and at the very early age. I was the very first one in my family who read all these books, and I started telling this to my parents, and we started working on the mindset with my parents. And it was very funny because when I was already 14, probably my parents they were planning to sell their apartment in the city, and no one would buy it, and my mom would always come to me and just say, like, please, can you do your mindset thing? Can you please visualize that our apartment is sold? And I would be just like a teenager. I'd say, like, no, mom, do it yourself. And she's like, no, please. And I would just start, okay. And I, I believed so much into this power. And my parents were super smart because child's energy is very pure, right? So all the desires are very pure and they always are achievable. So they would ask me and I would do it, and then the apartment would be sold. So it's a very funny story. All right. So yeah, I will repeat all the books again, guys. I will send you the links and everything in the chat at the end, and I will also send it in the Telegram channel. All right. So if you're agreed, we're gonna start with the mindset. Again, I have a lot of things to share, but we are limited in time and I will just go over. You guys will listen today and take today what your mind is ready to. But please stay till the end and we will cover everything. So, the first thing is the mindset. Right here is a great visual, powerful slide which shows that we are a human, we have heart, we have our brain, we have our mindset, we have our beliefs. And it really is, I don't want to say that life is black and white, right? Life is everything, and we should be accepting everything. Whatever happens to us, great. If it's either a blessing or a lesson, it was a favorite quote from my mentor. He used to say, Adina, life is about a blessing or a lesson. So something happens to you, it's a blessing. Something happens to you that you didn't want, great, it's a lesson. You learned from it. So yeah, if you can see right here at the very top, we have great powerful things like positive thinking, belief that I can do anything, self-belief in success, that I will be successful no matter what, and I am enough. This is very important, especially for girls, I truly believe, because we always tend to think that we are missing something out. And I'm talking from my experience. And as we discussed at the very beginning, as a non player character, right? Nobody exists. So whatever I'm telling is about myself. So when I wrote this, I am enough, I was writing this to myself because as a business owner, sometimes I get into the room where there are lots of people who are very successful, who are very smart, and I am confident, but I'm also a human, and I always have these thoughts. Oh my gosh, they have this degree, I should be doing that. Or, oh my gosh, they're so successful and smart, and I'm just starting my business. So there are always lots of thoughts and doubts. And I would love to, I'm actually working on it to change them for I am enough. No matter what, I'm doing great and I am enough. Everything is possible. And on the other side, we have negative thoughts, which are destroying. They truly are destroying. Especially if you're a mother, you will have to work on yourself because you will be, your kids are going to follow your thoughts. And it's so interesting. From the very birth till 7 years, person, the kid is actually attached to mom. And everything he or she, your child, is going to learn about the world is actually inherited from mom. And the way your kid sees the dad, your husband, is actually with the eyes of the mother. So do this small exercise. Try to think like what kind of dad you have. For example, my dad. And I started thinking, okay, he's very kind. He is strong. But he's slow. He could have be faster. And then I started realizing, am I thinking about my dad like this myself? And then I started realizing that no, sometimes my mom would say like, you're so slow, just do it faster. You can be faster. You need to do more. And I started realizing that everything I think about my dad is actually comes from my mom. So and imagine if we have so much power, we are not powerful just for ourselves, but our kids as well, for our family. So we have to be twice as mindful and as hardworking on our mindset. So right here at the very bottom, we have doubts, fears, it's impossible, judgments, and negative self-talks. So when we talk about fears, I know a lot of people they have fears, and I always get these questions from people. I have a fear that I cannot start the business. I have a fear I cannot start a blog. I have a fear that I cannot break into tech because maybe I cannot do it, and so and so. With the fear, I think you can find plenty of information in the internet, but at the same time, when you think about the fear, for me, what works, I always think, okay, what is going to happen the worst to me if I try this? From a recent example, I went to surfing and I started surfing in 2020 when I was pregnant with Alim, and I would do it in Hawaii. And the waves were different, the water is clear, and I always dreamed about surfing, so I was surfing in Hawaii. It was pretty fine. Last year, we came to Bali and I started surfing here, and I had a bad experience. I was doing this laundry thing where I would just like go under the wave, and I got some fears. I don't know from where, from the ocean here in Bali, from the specific beach, and a few days ago, I went to surfing again, and I was just asking myself, do I want to surf? Yes, I want to. Why do I want to surf? It was always my dream. I love this feeling of freedom when you're on a wave. And I also love this dopamine feeling which comes to me because when I ride the wave, I get the portion of dopamine, and it's so strong that I feel great throughout the day and certainly in life. And also, I feel like I accomplished something and I can do anything. And then I ask myself, do I want to go surfing? Yes. And what do I fear of? And I started thinking, I fear of the waves and the ocean and that I cannot swim. I can swim just a little bit, but not too much. So it's just like, the style is called dog swimming. It's just like you just go like this. And I truly believe when there is a huge wave and such a strong ocean, you'll be just lost. So I started thinking and asking myself, what's going to happen the worst, right? So it's the same question to you. Whatever you're afraid of, always ask yourself, what's going to happen the worst in this case? So for me, it was, what's going to happen the worst? Okay, I'll be doing laundry with my board. All right, you'll do the laundry. What's next? I might be I might be panicked. Okay, what's next? What can you do for that? And I just started thinking, okay, I can have my husband by me, and I also can hire an instructor who would be next to me. What else I can do? Okay, I can go actually to the safe place, to the safe beach, which was 30 minutes away from my home. Yes, it's the distance is longer, but that beach has lots of sand and it's more for beginners. And I figured that I can do this for myself in order to protect my thoughts and my fears and doubts. And I can also create a safe space around me, which is like hire an instructor, ask my husband to come with me, and I can do it anyways. So, and I tried, I did it. I was not perfect, but I did it. So, the same thing with you guys. If you have any fear, the question, number one question you should ask yourself is always, what is going to happen the worst to me in this case? And whenever I think about it, most of the time, 90% of the time, we always get this answer as people will judge me. You're always fear of something because of the outside judgment. It can be judgment from your family, from parents, from husband, wife, from your close friends. For example, I want to break into tech, but what if I fail? And then this fear is always is around the negative self-talk, which is also in this bottom space, as you can see. So the fear is connected to the negative self-talk, and then as you guys can see, there is one negative thought, right? The fear, and then it comes, for example, I'm afraid. If I go, I'm afraid is already one negative thought. If I go to tech and I will, I won't find a job. It's the second negative talk, which means it's impossible. And then you say, okay, when I get to tech, I won't find a job. And then my husband will say, oh, we wasted money and time. You just went and you didn't find a job. And then you tied it to the judgment, and then you say, I'm not sure if I can do it because I'm a girl, maybe I'm not good at math, or my English is not great, how can I find a job? And then there is a doubt, and over the sudden, from just one thought, which was your dream, I want to start live this free life. I want to travel. I want to have a tech career. I want to be smart. I want to have this career where they push me to grow and I'm constantly learning and I'm working remote. I'm close to my kids. And then from this dream and great goal which you have, you start tying this goal to everything negative. So you go like, what if I don't find a job? What if my family judge me? What if my English is not good enough? And then you just start tie all these negative thoughts around yourself. And we always think like, no, whenever people would ask me and say like, Adina, are you a positive person? I would also always say, yes, I'm such a positive person. I know everything. And then when I try something first, I realized I'm actually not a positive person. I have so many doubts. I have so many fears. And I'm not just thinking about my goal. I'm actually connecting my goal to all the negative thoughts. And if you analyze your greatest dreams that you have, and then you analyze what you actually think about this dream on a daily basis, you'll be surprised. You'll realize, oh my gosh, I'm such a negative person. I actually always think negatively. Because when you're thinking, I want to break into tech, it's a great positive goal, right? And then you think about all the doubts you have, you're actually, life is about the energy. And you guys will be surprised. We live in the world, we live in the space, and as I said, there are different energies, right? So there is an energy which is positive. It's a different energy. It's an energy of successful people. It's an energy of people who make millions or billions of dollars. It's energy of the great inventors of centuries, all the people, artists, great, I don't know, just smart people, anyone who you admire. And then there are people who just don't realize their full potential. They just sit home and they're full of doubts. And why? Because you are tying your greatest dream to all the negative thoughts. And then you create the energy. You actually have your goal and you put it in the negative energy and the flow. So there are different flows with energy, and you have the ability where you want to join. You can join the positive one, and you can just be, why people say wipe, right? Because there are certain energies in the world which you can attached to. And even though you're afraid, but you have a great goal, you have the power to attach yourself to a greater energy where everything become your reality because you attach to this energy. And you, even though you don't have this in reality, you keep attaching your goal to this energy, to where everything is possible, to where you're enough, that you can, that there is a chance for success for you. You are going to be successful no matter what. You'll be living your life no matter what. And then you have these all the doubts, and this way you actually take away your goal and you put it into the negative energy. I'm not sure if this makes sense, and we are on the same page. Please, guys, let me know if this is the information you understand and you understand what I'm talking about. So, um, as I said, we all have goals. For example, I can give another example from people who are always text me and they say, I want to travel like you, right? And there are lots of people who move to the US. And for sometimes there is questions with papers and people cannot travel and they need to wait certain times. And for example, you just moved to US and you want to travel. You look at these like Instagram influencers like myself. Oh my gosh, she's traveling in Bali. She lives in Dubai. I want to do with my kids as well. And then you're like, but my papers are not coming. What if I don't? I just talked to my friend and she was waiting for her papers for 7 years. What if I don't travel? And then I didn't find a job in tech. What if I never find? Maybe I will be just living here. And what if, and then your dream of traveling is actually attached to all this negative energy. And guess what? It will never go into the reality because you are joining this, um, how does it call, like when spiders they create the web. Yeah, you're joining the web of negative energy and you're attaching your great dream to the web of the negative energy. And guess what? The web is actually going around your dream and it's actually taking it away. And that's it, it's gone. It's in the negative energy. It's so hard to pull it out. Ah, all right, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'll do it at the very end really quick. So again, guys, about the energies. I really hope this is you guys can hear this really well. So every day we should be mindful of what we are thinking, especially if the goal is great. So we have next exercise. I will be fast because we have some time left. So exercise number 1 is actually to become a National Geographic photographer, as you can see here. So there is a guy who's taking picture of the wild animal of cheetah. And what is he doing? He is silently watching the animal. He's watching the animal behavior because he wants to know what is what does the animal do? How does it how does it breathe? How does it hunt? How does it provide the food for itself? And I invite you to do the first exercise. Write it please down, to become a photographer who is watching the wild animal. And the wild animal is actually your thoughts. So your daily thoughts is the wild animals that you need to watch. You need to play a game. I love doing all exercises and mindset work as a game. So write down, take the notebook and write down your wild animal, your thoughts. Look out, follow, catch, write down, and analyze. For example, you are watching Instagram feed and you see something that you want. You're like, oh my gosh, she has beautiful bag, or she bought the apartment, or anything, right? We have so much success on Instagram. So you're inspired by this goal and you're like, she's doing business. I want to start a business. She's doing great. I want to do it as well. And then watch yourself. What kind of thoughts comes next to you? Is it, yes, I can do it. Let me create a plan. Let me write down the action items. Let me start doing it. 90% that it's not. It's usually, yeah, but I don't have the Instagram like herself. yeah, I don't have so much followers, and she's doing it because she has followers. Or, yeah, she graduated from the American University and I did not. Um, maybe I cannot do it. Or she is in Europe and I'm in Kyrgyzstan. That's why she's successful. So watch your thoughts and write it down. Write down everything that you have and analyze it. You'll be surprised how much you are taking your goals and dreams from the positive app to the negative one, and how much you're taking yourself away from your goal. So this is exercise number one that I ask you to do. If you guys screenshot this is great. If you write it down as well, same thing. And the next thing for our of the successful person is, after the mindset, it's always self-belief. We talked about that, and setting goals and having a higher purpose. I won't be, I'll just give you an example of myself. I always had a huge goal that I will be doing a startup. I'll be creating a corporation. I'll be creating a corporation where I will be providing job for thousands of employees, and I will be doing an impact on people's lives. And when we started dating with Oscar, we still remember this day in 2019. We sat down in the park and we were dreaming. What do we want? And at that time, we were just a boot camp based in Chicago, with the office in Chicago. And we thought we want to teach and help millions of people. And we want to open a branch in Kyrgyzstan, which will be helping lots of people. And we also want to open a foundation where we will be giving kids who need it education for free. And we will be participating in accelerator and will become a startup, and we will build our tech solution. And everything that we talked that day with Oscar actually became a reality. That time we didn't know how we're gonna do it, what we're gonna do. And then over the 5 years now, when I'm analyzing and looking back, I realized that everything we talked about is actually became reality. We didn't know how, but we had a higher goal. We had a higher purpose first, and we had a goal that we're gonna achieve this. And then some circumstances, everything came up to that way, and it was designed that way where we opened the VEX. It was designed that way where we got participated into Antler, and we had our investors, and we actually moved to Silicon Valley, and we started in 2019. We started giving out grants for kids who need the free education, who are very talented. And till this day, we actually started in 2019. We started Bright Talent Foundation, which is nonprofit foundation. And we took two kids who didn't have parents or who didn't have income, but they were very smart kids in the villages in Kyrgyzstan. And we got them into the Turkish High Lyceum, where we still throughout the days 3,000 a year we pay every year for their education. And for us that time, it was just two young girlfriend and boyfriend, two people who started the business and were just dreaming. And now when you look back, it's like, wow, we already changed life of so many people. We already changed life of kids who need it. We already changed life of uh, Kyrgyzstan education system, right? We implemented into the state universities, in 7 state universities. When I was setting these goals, I never thought that I could do it, but I was just doing it. And if you ask me now, I would just say we were just so lucky with Oscar, because we got approached by ambassador of Kyrgyz Republic in the United States, and um, he just said that we can present it to the Prime Minister of Kyrgyzstan, and then Prime Minister said that they can meet the Minister of Education from Kyrgyzstan. And that time, Minister of Education was coming to the U.S., and we met all the state professors, and they just said yes. So we were just lucky. And again, when I caught myself that I'm saying that I'm lucky, I realized that I'm actually answering as all successful people that I'm so lucky. But if you look around it, it's all the mindset first, and then it's higher purpose and a goal that I set many years ago. And then it's actually the creating the right environment for myself. It's working hard and working smart. And And then it comes this luck, right? But it's this luck was created by myself. And when you go back and analyze, everything starts from the mindset first. So setting goals and having a higher purpose. And I truly believe that we should not limit ourselves, because when you think about Elon Musk or people who have dreams and hopes, Elon Musk, if you read his book about his biography, he was always dreaming about going to space and creating like rockets and doing all of these things, you know. And when you think about it, you're like, wow, he was such a kid dreaming about it, and he actually made it a reality. Why? Because he never doubted himself, and he was creating this web of things. Of course, he was working hard, but at the same time, he never has doubts. He believes that he is the one who can do it. And this is the difference between Elon Musk and the average person on the planet. So, setting goals and having higher purpose, again, look out for your goals. What do you want in 5 years? For example, you want to break into tech. Yes, why do you want to break into tech? So, breaking into tech is just your middle goal, it's a very small goal. It could be a huge for this year or for the next year. It can be just one number one goal for 2025. But in your long run, in your life roadmap, in your bigger picture, it's a very small goal. So you should be always thinking, what is my huge goal in life? What do I want? Sometimes we don't know what do we want, but we certainly know how do we want to live. We know what kind of life we want. Or if you don't know what kind of life you want, always go from what do I don't want. For example, I don't want to be a person who is just poor, not realizing fullest potential, sitting home. Maybe I don't want to be a person who is um, not studying, the person who is not reading books, the person who is, I don't know, fat, ugly, unsuccessful, in poor and bad relationship, who never traveled. This is what I don't want. And then go from there. Okay, this is what I don't want, then what do I want? And create your goals. When you do this small exercise on goals, always have, as I said, the higher purpose. And we will talk about this in the Telegram channel later. So I'll skip this one as well because we have just a few time left. The hard work, as I said, hard work, when we think like people, entrepreneurs who work 24/7, actually the secret is in just two things. And I always say that you don't have to look for the magic pillow. The magic pillow is in two things: your discipline and your focus. And everything starts from understanding what it takes to have a discipline and focus. It's not about the tools you think people have. It's not about just like, I know right now everyone's talking about this ADHD disease, and everyone's like, oh, I have this, that's why I cannot do that. No, it's a bullshit. You don't have it. You actually have the issues of realizing where your brain is consuming, what your brain is consuming, and what you feed yourself on a daily basis. So if you really go and think about it, discipline and focus, and there's a huge hormone dopamine, which is so important, which takes care of everything in our brain, and which you should be mindful of. There are two types: there's an expensive, the long-term dopamine, and there's a cheap and fast. And the problem is that we are all using our dopamine for the cheap and fast things, so that we don't have expensive long-term dopamine left in our system, so that they can provide ourselves with discipline and focus so that we can achieve our goals. So it's all tied all together. It comes from, let's say, dopamine, cheap and fast. We all know it's the social media scrolling, it's the um, eating junk food, it's sleeping when you said you will work out, for example. Or it's, for example, for myself, I wanted to go surfing, right? surfing is hard. I had so many fears. I had so many doubts. I had to travel 30 minutes to the beach that I want. I had to take an instructor. I had to do lots of things which my brain didn't want to. And when I wanted to surf that day in the morning, I just started thinking about this, and I was going like, maybe I should just stay home and work. And then I started asking myself, Adina, are you really gonna work? Yes, I'm gonna work, go to the coffee shop. You're gonna go to coffee shop, you're gonna order croissant and coffee, and you'll have it and you'll feel great, and then you'll scroll the social media and you'll get this cheap, fast dopamine, and then you'll be just like, yeah, I started working, and you'll open your notebook and do some stuff. It's really gonna help you throughout this day. Does it gonna make you stronger? No, it's not. Yes, it's much faster. It's much more easier for me to go to the coffee shop and just have a bunch of pastry and coffee and just scroll the social media and pretend that I'm working. And in the long term, I will be feeding myself with the cheap and fast dopamine. But if I go to the surf, it is painful in the moment. It is painful to travel 30 minutes. It is painful to hire an instructor and to go against my fears and just like look at the ocean. And it's so funny because before I go surfing, I look at the ocean and just say like, hey ocean, please, I want to be alive. And I just go to the ocean. And it's in the moment it's so painful, but in the long term I understand that this is an expensive and long-term dopamine for my system. I'm actually feeding my body and myself and my mind with the expensive long-term dopamine, which will help me to achieve my goals. Because if I feed myself with expensive long-term one, I will become only stronger. I will be stronger physically, I'll be stronger mentally because surfing requires certain things and certain things. So this will actually help me in the long run. So every day when you wake up, think about things you're doing and ask yourself, am I feeding myself with the cheap fast dopamine? Is it good in the long term, or am I feeding myself with expensive and long term? And I'm not saying that like you have to delete your social media. It's a part of our lives, right? And if not social media, you wouldn't find this webinar, you wouldn't see all this information and so and so. But we can always approach it mindfully. We can do like some time management around it, or we can pick and choose what we are following, what we are doing, what we are reading, and so and so. So we will also talk about this in this Telegram channel, and I'd love to go next to the exercise number 2. Watch your day, what you do, and create a list. And it's very interesting because you always think like, oh, I'm not addicted to social media, or I'm always doing good things, I'm always eating right, and so and so. But if you sometimes this cheap fast dopamine is not just about the food or just about the social media. Sometimes it's about things and thoughts you do. For example, you love to gossip, or you love to talk to your parents. Let's say you live abroad and you call your parents and they tell you everything your relatives do, and you're like, oh really, they went there, and what did they do? Oh, we went to this holiday toy birthday party, and she wore this and they said this and that, and you're just like listening to it. And you don't realize, but this is also a cheap and fast dopamine because you are receiving the information, you're having some type of the fun, and your brain thinks that you already achieved something because you got this portion of dopamine, and your brain thinks, okay, we achieved already. I got this dopamine. I feel great. Why do I have to bother myself and just read or study or even think about it? It's just gonna happen. Or let's say you want to break into tech, or you want to open a business and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it today, let's go, I'm such a great person, I'm so motivated. You go to YouTube and you watch the video which says 5 steps how to open a business, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. You watch this video on 5 steps how to open the business, and your brain receives this dopamine which says, and then it tells you, okay, we already watched this video on how to open the business, I feel so great, let's just stop here. And then you don't even get to the action items, because your brain thinks you already achieved everything and everything else is going to happen by itself. So it's a trick when we think about stuff and we always think that we're actually doing something, but in reality, we don't do it. So, exercise number 2 is really important. Watch your day, create what you do, and just like really mindfully look off on what you're doing and ask yourself, is it making me stronger or is it making me weaker? For example, we say self love is about doing things what makes you stronger. For example, I woke up this morning and I started scrolling social media. Does it make me stronger? You ask yourself and realize that no, it doesn't. Okay, and you mark it. Next thing, I had coffee for breakfast. Does it make me stronger? Not really. I should have some water. I should have something else before I get to my coffee. And every single step you write down. Why? Not because I just tell you you have to live a very healthy life. No, it's your choice, but because you need to realize that doing all these things is actually feeding your brain first, and you cannot achieve your goals because you're feeding your brain with the very fast and cheap dopamine. And it's just the biology, it's neuroscience. You cannot achieve your goals because your brain is already fed with dopamine. There is no place left. And in order to create your dopamine system so that you can achieve all your goals, you have to work around the expensive and long term dopamine versus the cheap and short one. So, we will talk about this later as well. Let's go to the next one really quick. Environment and surroundings. Why does it matter? We all heard we all heard that you're an average of five people around you. We all know this from the books and everything, that it really matters, that you create your network is your net worth, and so and so. But what I ask you to do is just, because we all know this information, just to actually do the homework on analyzing what kind of people are around you. My favorite thing that I tell my students and everyone else who asks me, what do you want in life? You have a goal, and then ask yourself, do people around me have something that I want? For example, you have your closest friend. Uh, does this person have something that I want? And it doesn't mean that you have to stop talking to them. No, it just means asking yourself and realizing, do you surround yourself with the people who has some things that you want? Why this is important? Because the huge resource of your goals is actually, probably almost everything comes from the people. It's people who give you the information, it's people who give you some resources, they give you a job, they give you the opportunities, they give you the motivation, they give you the inspiration. It's all about the people. So you have to ask yourself, who are my surroundings? And I'm inviting you to do actually another exercise which is much stronger, which is called the Dunbar's list. There's an anthropologist, Robin Dunbar, who was actually analyzing how people behave and people's behavior. And he realized that every single person consists of um, people who surround them, but not just 5 people. It's actually 150 people in total. And this term was called Dunbar's list, which consists of different people. It's actually you, 5 and 6 people of closest and best friends you talk to on a daily basis, your closest ones who actually create your the way you think. And then we have 15 to 20 friends, or you can call them friends, you can call them just people you talk to. For example, your neighbor. Let's say she's not your friend, but you actually talk to her almost every day because your kids play in the same playground. So you have to take your notebook and write down 5 to 6 people of your closest best friends, and then 15 to 20 people who surround you, and then 50 people you talk to. It cannot be like, it's not necessarily every day, but you talk to them like once a week or once a month, or maybe you chat in social media. 50 people you talk to. And in total, it has to be 150 people, including the social media. In these 50 people you talk to, it can be actually people from social media. So you have to create this list. What do you actually surround yourself, your brain, and your consciousness, what kind of people you have, and then you create this 150 people list. It's actually quite a homework, and then you analyze and see, okay, I have goals, I have a huge goal, I have a higher purpose. And then you ask yourself sincerely, on every single person, does this person have something that I want to achieve? Does this person have something that I want to get? Does this person has these resources? And it doesn't mean that you have to stop talking to your friends, or you have to be like mean, or you have to be egocentric or anything. No, it's not about that. It's just about how mindful you are about your environment. And creating this Dunbar's list is actually a great filter for yourself, because in these 50 people you talk to, it's actually the influencers you might be talking to, the friends in social media you never met but you just know each other from social media, and so on. So you have to ask yourself and realize, are you surrounding yourself with the people that has something that you want? And this is really important, because again, if you surround yourself with people that you want, probably these people have the right mindset, and probably you can join, even virtually, even by the visualization, you can join this web of success that you want. There is a great exercise that I'll tell you in Telegram later on, after weeks of practice, how to join these types of the webs. You can actually join even from anywhere to any web you want, but this is like more advanced information. So, all right, and luck, right? So when we talk about luck, it's actually not just, as I said, whenever you would ask me, I would also tell you, oh, I was just so lucky that I met Oscar. I was just so lucky that I created a startup. I was so lucky that I live in Bali and Chicago or in whatever, right? Silicon Valley. And in reality, luck is about increasing the odds of chances. So it's not just sitting and waiting for the miracle. You can actually create this miracle yourself. So you need to make sure that you are doing lots of things. It doesn't have to be successful, it doesn't have to have the result right away, but you're actually doing something towards creating this luck. And it comes to the environment. Looking at your environment and creating the right environment, it's actually something that creates your luck. For example, you live somewhere abroad and you just moved there, and it's so hard because you have a, let's say, like some service job, and you have your school you're studying, and so and so, and you want to just you're barely making the ends, and but also you want to become a better version of yourself. You want to have different friends, you want to live a different life, but when you realize that you actually live in the environment, let's say in the worst neighborhood in the city, because it's much cheaper, then I'm sorry, it's going to be much, it's going to be much slower, because you're not creating the luck around yourself. You're not increasing the odds of chances. Having luck in the worst neighborhood when you want to achieve few different things in life is almost impossible. But let's say you don't have to, let's say you don't have enough money to move to a better neighborhood, you don't have to move there. You just can go there and be inspired by the surroundings, work from there, or have once a week time where you go to the great coffee shop in the best neighborhood, where you just watch people, you just see that you get inspired, and you just feel this environment, and you feel yourself differently because you go there and you feel like you belong here. You feel like, let's say you want to get into some Ivy League university, but you never even have been to this university. So the first thing is to actually increase your chances, the odds of chances, but also surround yourself with this environment. go there, try to understand it. Or let's say it's going to be funny, but let's say you want some designer bag but you never had it, and for some people it's really even hard to go to this mall, like the huge shops, let's say, just to touch the bag, uh, because for yourself you think you want it but you never actually did anything in order to become even closer, and maybe not materially right now, but first with your mindset, with the understanding that yes, this can belong to me, yes, I can do it as well, yes, I can live this life as well. So you just have to start with your mindset first. And as I said, luck is increasing the odds of chances. And there was a last thing that I never included here, but I think it's really important, and it's the gratitude. So, gratitude is probably number one thing which comes within the mindset, and why I want to point it out here as well for you guys, because whenever we achieve our goals, we forget about the gratitude. And if you think about where you are right now, it's actually something you really dreamed many years ago, or it may be something you dreamed about a few months ago or 2 years ago, where everyone has their own timing. But again, when I see it and think, like, for example, even today, right, it was like 100 something people signed up, and I have 12K followers on Instagram, and I could have been so pissed or upset and saying like, hey, why it's only 20 people today signed up, and just so upset. But I choose to start from gratitude. I really fully am thankful for every single person. If you imagine, it's 20 souls, beautiful people who came and spent the evening with me. Wow. It's crazy. It's it's so crazy, because for me, when I realized this, I'm like, wow, I can have an impact and I can share with 20 people right now. That's amazing. And if you're a business owner and let's say you have clients and you're so upset that you could have done better, everything starts from the gratitude. Wow, I actually had 5 clients this month. That's so cool. And if you think about it and think from different perspective, from perspective of the universe or God, it always comes from this. For example, just think about it. Ask yourself, how can God give me something better, or universe, whatever works for you, if I'm not grateful right now for what I have? If you ask yourself this question, it's going to change lots of things. For example, you have your husband. It's going to be a simple example. You have your husband and you fight every day. And instead of you go and just talk to your friends, let's say, and they're like, how's your husband? And you're just like, he's so stupid, he's so lazy, he lies every day, he doesn't want to be a better person of himself. I'm the one who's always studying and doing stuff, and he's not. And what's happening? You're actually putting your husband into this web of negative thoughts and reality, and you're actually making him to do it because you're saying it with the words. But you don't have to even say it. If you think about it, you're actually creating your reality. When you think about your husband this way, or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, brother, whatever, you're actually creating the reality where this person is going. And the universe, God, again, is going to be like, yep, here you go, what do you wish, it's right here, because you are creating it. And it's the hardest part, because when we fight, we always want to say like, this person is this and that and that. And if you change our words, if you change our thoughts, and we say, I have the greatest husband, he's so supportive, he's so loving, he's so this and that, you actually create this reality. It doesn't mean, but again, it starts with this game, right? There is nobody exists, it's just me. You don't talk about people being wrong, you think about yourself. What can I do? It's just me. I have the reality. I have a great husband. It can be, you can be still fighting, but in your head, you keep talking to yourself because it's just you. I have the great life. I have great husband. I have great relationship with mother, sister, brother, with my friends, with my colleagues, whatever. You just keep creating this reality. And when you create this reality, it actually comes to you. And again, it starts from gratitude. You think like, wow. We always think that someone's grass is greener than ours, right? You can be just sitting, let's, on my example, let's say I'm building a startup and there's someone who has more successful startup, and they're just like, why them, not me? So and so I could be doing that. But again, I go back to my first slide. As you guys remember, there is a game, non-player character. Nobody exists, it's just me. It's just me, and I can create my reality. And I start from the gratitude. I start from, wow, thank you, I have such a great startup. I have 20 people who joined my webinar. Wow, amazing. It's me, just me today. And God sent me 20 people. That's amazing. I don't want to cry now. That's so amazing. And when you feel this, really, not just like we are so used to having this, like, oh, you have to be grateful. And we're like, yeah, I'm grateful for my life. No, not just the writing, but actually feeling with your heart. When you are thinking and feeling and going through this, it's so important because it's going to be more, it's going to be greater, and you're joining this vibe, this web of the right things. And same thing with the goal. When you think about your goal, um I forgot to mention this. When you set your goal, the huge goal that you want, and then we will be doing this exercise in the Telegram, we'll be breaking it down. When you have this goal, you have to set, always when you think about the goal, you have to visualize it, but you have to actually live through the emotions. Live through the emotions. What's going to happen? Example is the surfing, right? When I went to surfing, for me, I was realizing, okay, I'm not joining the web of fear on the surfing. I'm actually joining the web of this feeling where I'm laughing. I'm on the board and I'm enjoying and I'm laughing and I feel this freedom and the ocean, the air. And I was, before going there, I was actually living through it. And before even going to this webinar, last night I was dreaming about is that I'll be in the flow. The most important for me is to get into the flow and actually give out everything I want with the open heart and with the lightness, and not thinking about any circumstances. It's just about feeling this lightness, right? So this is success to me. And right now I'm feeling this success, and I'm feeling the same success that I was feeling last night before going to bed. I was actually feeling this, like I will be giving out everything in time and so much information, and people will be so happy and they will be so full and so and so. So whatever I feel, it actually comes to you and your reality. And again, when you think about the any relationship, anything you want, we have all different goals, right? We have a goal, for example, of I want to be successful or make millions of dollars, let's say, per year. I want to have a successful business. I want to have a great relationship with my husband, wife, brother, whatever. I want to be successful in society. I want to be a speaker, or I want to this and that. Everyone has its own goals. And when you think about these goals, always think about these things that I shared with you: mindset, self belief, and then do the exercise. 5 minutes of the exercise, it's a work. It can be annoying, yes. But if you mindfully do it, and it's going to be much more useful. And if you think the very first, if you think like, oh my gosh, I am I right now, if you're listening to the webinar and you have thoughts as like, I already know this information, yeah, something, yeah, I don't know, I already know this, yeah, positive thinking, that's a signal that you should be actually doing this exercise, because it's the brain which tricks us. It says, we already know this, it doesn't matter, no, don't do it. So and it keeps us away. So if you do this exercise, try to be mindful. And it's the catching the micro thoughts. If you're already advanced and you're thinking positively the whole time, it's catching the micro thoughts. The micro thoughts is really what matters. um I think we're already out of the time, and I'm passing to Oscar. really go for those who want to break into tech. I will be reading your comments, guys, and I'm really hope to see all the comments. And as I said at the end, Oscar will just go briefly. We just have a few minutes left. We will go over the invitation to the Telegram channel at the very end. And I invite you to join this challenge. We will be doing all the mindset hacks and exercises all together. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm passing to Oscar, guys.
Hey, superstars. Great that you guys all stayed until the end. As always, Adina brought some amazing knowledge and wisdom. So, yeah, everything starts from mindset. It's like mindset is having your GPS on to the exact direction you want to reach finally. But the actual steps or your car are going to be more on the hard skills. So positive thinking, having big dreams and goals are all on the soft skills side. Obviously, there are more soft skills that are very important, like communication skills, sales skills, the skills that will actually help you achieve achieve your goals. And on the other hand, you have the hard skills. And in terms of tech, these are programming languages. There are different technologies that you need to learn. So it's like having two wings, right? You can't just have one wing without the other. You have to have both. So yesterday, when me and Adina were thinking about all the positive thinking and all the having their right mind power, the right mindset, which one is better? If you only had if you only had to choose between, okay, I'm gonna be a hard worker, amazing hard skills, or I'm not gonna have any hard skills but only have good mindset, which one is better? And both me and Adina agreed that we would both probably choose, okay, not having the best career, not having the best hard skills, but having the right mindset. Because having the right mindset is about happiness, right? Doesn't matter where you are at in your life. If you are grateful, if you are positive about every day, you are happy. But we don't have to limit ourselves to having just one. Having both is the ultimate success and ultimate happiness for people who dream about success in career, getting some freedom in terms of financial freedom, travel, space freedom, and so on. So tech, you guys are here, and tech career is one of the careers that can help you, where you can get a lot of real world hard skills and build a valuable career and skills that you can actually bring so much value to these amazing companies in the world. And there are different pathways you can actually get into start a tech career. One option is go through a computer science degree. I think this option is pretty good if you are young and you just finish high school and so on. But if you are over 30 years old or 25 years old, you have already completed computer science degree before, this could be a little bit time consuming for you. So then you have online courses, like free courses on YouTube or Udemy and stuff, and those are gonna be self-paced. It's all by yourself, so you're alone. And you have boot camps like ours. So tech industry is this amazing industry. This is one of the favorite parts about tech industry is that it's the most democratic industry out there. You don't need any connections, you don't need anything, and it's you versus you. So you have the curriculum that you need to go through. You need to learn certain technologies, and the depths of this industry is pretty deep. So it will take you a pretty long time to become, this world class, top 1% engineer or professional. So you can definitely start and just keep diving deeper. And we know that the world economy is being driven by the tech companies, and the companies who don't have an open mind about tech and innovation, as we can see, they companies like Yahoo, Kodak, BlackBerry, Sears, they were all amazing companies, world-class companies, but because they didn't invest into technology, they fell behind. So tech industry is all the money in the world. Like just today in the morning, I read the news that OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT AI, the AI bot that we all know. If you don't know, definitely make sure you go to ChatGPT and use that tool, or watch small YouTube video about ChatGPT. And this is basically the most innovative technology that we have today in our hands using AI. They just raised how much? No, how much did they raise? I think they raised they basically 6 billion. I think they raised 9 billion. But basically they set a record for the most money raised. Right? So all the money in the world, guys, is just being poured into tech companies, new tech startups. Even the established companies are pouring all of their money in reserves to innovate new technology. You guys are watching Meta, Mark Zuckerberg working on AR, VR. Apple is going into AI games. So, tech industry is this industry that is in need of lots of professionals, and this is probably the ultimate industry that the whole careers are gonna be around. Cool. So I just want to show you guys this, right? Our course takes 6 months. This is how much time you need to spend to really gain new career skills, become a tech professional. And if you look at 6 months here, it kind of, for a lot of people, it looks like it's a long time. And I maybe agree at sometimes, but honestly, we can only understand the investment that you are making time-wise, whether it's a lot or just a little bit of time, if you put it in perspective. This is, guys, all the months that you have in your career left. Like, I'm assuming you guys are between 25 to 35 years old, and we all still have 20 to 35 years of career ahead of us. Can you guys imagine? That's how much career time you still have before you retire. And the 6 months that you invested, look, this is just a tiny investment. And this investment that you make you're gonna be reaping the return on investment for 20 to 35 years ahead of you. So, you could be then, like, we should have like these red lines on how long, like before 6 months, right? How long you have been waiting, how long you have been delaying or not pulling the trigger. So if there are people here who want to start a career in tech, make a change, then definitely it's you should do it. Like Adina said, this is just you versus you and your mindset, and you have all of the resources here at WEDEVX that hard skill resources, soft skill, communication skills resources, you have coaching from Adina in terms of attracting the right energy, attracting luck to yourself, and you can make it happen. So why should you trust your tech career to WEDEVX? One, we have been in the business for more than 5 years. So in average, the coding bootcamps especially die in the first 2 years. You guys have seen, when you are looking at social media, you look, it seems like there are a lot of schools, but then if you analyze, most of those schools are new. And then once you add a filter, okay, which schools are older than 3, 4, 5 years, then your search is gonna be much, it's gonna shrink down, and you're gonna have just 1 or 2 options. We have helped more than 656 people from zero background land their first tech jobs. So we have a working system. I think the biggest part of our success is that we are really passionate about what we do, and we work with students. We build this relationship with students, and we have this right energy that we bring to the community, that makes sure that fills people with energy to finish the course. So it's in all of the lectures are delivered by me and Adina. So every minute that you are listening, and there are like 900, I think like around 600 hours of lectures that you have, and there are 900 exercises that you will be solving. So every single minute you get all the energy that we are investing into making sure that you are motivated, you are pushing hard, and most importantly, you see this ultimate goal. We are the only coding bootcamp that has their own platform. So we have our own platform developed with love. We are an expertise for practice-based learning. So all of our learning design is designed around learning by doing. So there are, as I said, 900 exercises. You will be watching micro lectures and followed by 3 to 5 exercises that reinforce what you just learned. And I would say that one of the most valuable things that you get is access to the network of highly motivated mentors and students. Like Adina said, your network is your net worth, right? First, in order to increase the chances, you need to start adding people to your network who are where you want to be. And by joining our community, you already increase that to 400 people, because we have 400 people in our community who are all having the same mindset. A lot of graduates who are already working. We have amazing mentors who are our graduates who are working. You have us. So, network. This is the easy way to change the network, change the people that you know, and, mix it up with more people that you really need to achieve your success. So next batch starts on October 28th, guys. I'm not gonna, because we are out of time, I'm not gonna talk about what careers we offer or what careers you should be choosing, but basically we have DevOps and SDET careers. And if you want to learn more about those ones, you can go to our Instagram, text us, hey, I want a personal consultation. We have Sean in our team. He has been with us for 4 years now. He has done more than 5,000 consultations. So, it's an opportunity to learn about, and this is free, guys. One-on-one consultation is free. So what you're gonna do is just DM us on Instagram, and you can get a one-on-one consultation, get your questions answered, because everyone has different situations. So we want to make sure we are helping you based on your situation. And fall is the best months to start the bootcamp. Why? Because one, we are all used to starting the school in fall, and two, winter is coming. So winter, there will not be barbecue or go to beach type of distractions, and most you spend time at home a lot after work and stuff, right? So this is the best time to get your one cup of hot tea, bundle up, and just focus on the learning. And by the time winter is finished in March, you'll be already graduating, and in March all the companies start approving budget for new hires, so there will be lots of new job openings. So could you please tell us, it's hard to find a job after your courses, as I understand, as that is like a, just like Adina said, right? If you think it's hard, it's gonna be hard. If you think no, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be easy. So it's all how you approach it. When I went to a coding bootcamp, guys, like nobody was doing coding bootcamps before. So what I did is I just talked to the founder of the coding bootcamp, and I went to, and I paid like $16,000 for that bootcamp. And I said, okay, I will do it. It sounds kind of, I mean, I know it's not 100% guaranteed, but it sounds like something I want to risk, because when I waited, okay, what am I gonna invest? It's 6 months and $16,000. And what am I gonna get is like this tech career at companies like Chase. What? Really? In just 6 months? And I said, okay, I'm gonna do it, because what happens if nothing is gonna work out? I'm probably gonna learn some stuff. Fine, I'm gonna lose some money, and 6 months is nothing. I'm not losing any time. If I don't do this bootcamp, I will. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna be just, I don't know, playing football, playing video games, and basically be where I am right now. So, and then I took this risk, right? And when I was talking to the founder, I said, okay, can you guarantee there is at least one student who is gonna get a job from this batch? And there were like 50 people in the batch. And he said, okay, I guarantee you, if at least one student is not gonna get a job, he promised me a full refund. Okay, and I said, okay, deal, I'm gonna be that person. And guess what? I was the first one to get a job. So it's really how you join, like what type of request you make, what type of intention you make when you are joining the course. So as I said, it's gonna be hard if you think it's gonna be hard for you. It's gonna be easy if you think it's gonna be easy for you. Simple as that. Because yes, we have people who have a hard time, and we have people who have amazing time, and the only difference is in the mindset, and how hard you work to achieve your success. What to do with bet market at USA now? Bet market is a relative thing, right? There was never a time when students or graduates didn't receive phone calls. You guys all know, like in our community, every graduate receives at least 5 to 10 series interviews. It's just about how well you prepare for those interviews. So, market is a bit competitive for sure, but definitely it's not bad. You are still receiving series interviews. So it's just about how much you keep working on your skills and keep improving. So yeah, you need to be much sharper now, right? And that's the only thing you need to work on. Like, only, again, bad market is also it's not a fact, right? As I said, I can promise you that you're gonna get 5 to 10 real serious interviews. So now, if I promise you that, then you can remove that thought from your head. Okay, I'm gonna get 5 to 10 serious chances. Now, only focus you wanna have is how am I gonna get ready for those interviews. I have 10 shots. I need to make sure I'm closing at least one or two of those shots. Okay. After your courses, were there cases of people from Bishkek finding no? Yeah, so US Bishkek or people who are outside of US, you will be looking for jobs outside of US. Probably somewhere. We have people who found jobs in Europe, working remotely from Bishkek. We have people who are working for Russian companies, Kazakh companies, Kyrgyz companies. So USA is it's like immigration legal stuff, not really. Yeah, US. You're not authorized to work in the USA. That's why so people don't really hire from US. Yep. What other questions you guys have? So yeah, next batch starts October 28th. Fall is the best time to start, and it's really you versus you. You can, if you are serious about starting a tech career, you can. I'm pretty sure you have been already searching all of the different schools. Definitely go search, make a research, compare us to everyone or anyone who is out there, and then we are sure that there is nobody that beats our value in our community when it comes to starting tech careers. Um, do you help prepare for interviews? Yes. So this is a one shop community, right? You get the lectures. So you get the 6 months worth of curriculum, and you cover all of the tools. You do exercises, you do real world project simulation. You have once a week for 6 months, 24 live 2-hour live sessions, coaching sessions in very small groups with our amazing mentors. And all we are talking about mock interviews. So this is where you get a chance to uh, the way our coaching sessions go is for 2 hours our mentors are asking you what you learned in the last week, and they're asking you interview questions on what you learned. And our goal is to make sure for 6 months every week you are pretty much answering there are about, let's say, 20 to 50 interview questions that you need to know. And like every week you're just repeating, and every week you're improving. So by the time you finish the course, you want to make sure that your answers are memorized here, because you are doing it every week. It's memorized, and when you go to the interview, you're like, you have a flow of your speech. We don't want, like, we make sure that when you go to interview, you don't think about what to answer. It's already here, and you just go through it. So we help you with resumes. We do mock interviews on a weekly basis. Yeah, it's a one shop for you guys. The only platform you need to start a career in tech. Questions? So please scan this QR, guys. Join the Telegram group. We have prepared some amazing mindset challenges here. So our community will be participating here as well. So this is also one way you can interact with other people in tech. But the challenges are gonna be around mind hacks. Questions, concerns? Cool. So as I said, you guys text me, Adina, or our WEDEVX page with any questions you have. Just tell us, hey, I need a personal consultation. We can give you consultation over text, over Zoom, over phone calls, whatever works best for you guys. And it's completely free, guys, right? So do and take an advantage of it. And yeah, we will see you guys October 28th. Cool. I hope this session was valuable. We always try to give as much value to people, and Adina especially, she's working so hard and very passionate about sharing her knowledge. with you guys over through Instagram, through her amazing posts and insights. And we do the same in the WEDEVX community. Cool. All right, guys, do the exercises from this webinar, and it's your mindset is the most important thing, guys. What as Adina said, if you think you can or you can't, you are right. In both cases, you are right, guys. So whatever you say is you are right about yourself. If you say, hey, I can get a tech job, you are right. If you say, oh, it's hard, you are right. Okay, so you are the person who is right. Cool. Thanks, guys, for your time. See you all soon.